Hello Aries, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Quickly, I just want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers, for all the subscribers that have stuck around, and for all of those that have booked personal readings, donated, liked, shared, commented. You guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Aries, this is going to be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, discern the messages accordingly. I'm going to leave it right there as far as all the announcements go, and we're going to hop right into it. Aries, this is going to be your mind, body, spirit reading. And 3 messages from spirit of what they want you to know in regards to each of these areas for yourself and the holistic approach. Aries, the one thing that I picked up on before I turned the camera on was solutions to your problems, which is always lovely, right? Like we can always use solution to our problems, our situations. But I thought it was really interesting. There's a lot of like hyped up kind of energy that's attached to that. So we're going to jump in and see what's going on for you guys currently, and then we'll go from there. All right. So I had some autoimmune stuff going on this past week. It's clearing up, still a little bit of the sniffles, a little congestion. So bear with me if you hear me sniffling. I apologize. Like I'm trying to get my ear to pop so I can hear appropriately. So I apologize for the ruckus, essentially. All right, spirit, for celebrate and check in. I feel like you're circling back around to things that you have completed, that it's almost like a review of your progress, or like following through, finishing something up, going back and like checking the results. Like, are they satisfactory? Are they good? Am I making progress right now? Are things going on an upward climb for me? Is really how this feels. So in regards to the mind, spirit is saying release. Okay, so with this, who is this I said this for? Was it Scorpio, or let me see. It might have been Leo. Aries, it was interesting. I would say maybe check Scorpio or Leo. I can't remember which one it was. When you wrap something up, it's time to move on to the next phase. And I'm seeing this for a lot of you right now. It's this need to move on to the next phase of things that are happening for you. It reminds me of, like, if you're renting, this is how I'm going to put this. If you're renting and you finish up your lease and you move into a new house, like you have to go back, clean up a few things, right? Like, so that you can make that final move, get everything out, wrap it up, and then move on. And like, you don't look back to the old place, right? Like you move on and move forward, and then you start to work on those new things. And this is kind of how this feels to me. And for some of you, maybe this was a move, right? It could have very well been a move where you're finally letting, a home that you had for sale could have sold or something like that. But I do think that some of this is going to be on a more personal basis of the things that you're clearing up and tending to, and then moving on and moving forward. Some of you could be purging a lot of things at this time as well. But there's a lot of action-oriented movement that I'm feeling coming from this, and it's all being created within the mind. Like it's you having a clear thought on where it is you're going, what needs to be done next. Just be cautious that you're not going back and visiting things too much, is how I'm going to put that. Okay, that's how that feels to me. All right, for the body, remember that the body is also the 3D space. I just said this yesterday to Scorpio. Up until Scorpio's reading, no sign in these cards came out in the reverse, and there it is. Expand is in the reversed position. Some of you may be going back to review things simply because you're not sure what new movements or how to make some new movements that are requiring an adjustment of you at this time in your 3D world. We're going to clarify that before I go too far into that, because I feel like I could go a couple of different ways for a lot of you. And then in regards to spirit, what do you have for Aries? What do you have for Aries? Pivot. Spirit just said change your way of thinking when it comes to your divine connection. It's almost like they're trying to get you to move away from an old pattern, an old idea, an old belief. I've seen the word brave now a couple of times. And Aries, you guys are pretty bold in what you do, how you move forward, the way that you move forward. Spirit's also saying don't try to rule everything with an iron fist at this time either. Use your strength to your betterment rather than for the purpose of control or to hold on to something. So, because it's like Spirit wants you to be in flow with something, but you've got two cards of letting go, break free, and release here. You may, like, even if you had we'll go with a business idea. Okay, let's say you had a business idea. It went really well. It ran its course. It did its thing. I feel like you might be trying to return to an old business idea or a venture. It doesn't have to be business, right? But it's kind of like going back into that way that you know how to do things. That may be blocking you from moving forward and expanding, and no matter what it is. If you have a house, if this is related to a home, Aries, some of you may have had plans to remodel or add on. It feels like it's more of an adding on. It's pretty specific. You may be limited as to how much space you can utilize. So I'm not quite sure what that means for you. But it's like you may had just one solid goal for how something was going to expand. And you're not going to be able to do it the way that you thought you were going to do it. Okay, so I don't know, just a side message there. Father of Wands comes out with release. That's kind of the energy I was getting, was a lot of that fire energy. Obviously, Aries, there you are. Two of Wands, more fire energy, and then the Page of Wands, or the Page of Swords, I'm sorry. The Hierophant, traditions, beliefs, values, systems, like I just said, right? Let's see here. Aries, I feel like this is kind of like, I think I might have said this for another sign too, goodness. Hound dog kind of energy, like kind of like sniffing out the trail, trying to figure out where it is that you're going. Two of Wands. Be careful of the people that are advising you. I kind of feel like this Page of Swords, when you look back to the day, like back in the, years and years ago, the pages could be, they are messengers, right? And this person, this situation could be coming in, and where you thought you had clear-cut decisions on how to move forward, how to expand, you could feel like this person or whoever this is or whatever information is coming into you is kind of creating the space of a crossroads for you. I would take the information that they're bringing to you with a grain of salt, because I feel like maybe it's not so much you that is trying to hold on to an old way of doing things as much as it is people telling you, well, this is what's worked. It's almost like there's someone trying to convince you of something, and ultimately what you need to do is release an idea or a pattern. You could have friends around you, if this is relationship wise, saying to you, it's almost like they're getting up in your own mind for you, trying to help you make decisions. Aries, you're far more assertive than that, and I don't know why you would take that into account, but this could be creating some doubt or making you feel like you have more options or choices that you don't need. And the thing with this release is it says you deserve to be free of all of the drama, and this is a first step to achieving that. For some of you, if you're in a higher position, like a boss or something, you may be letting somebody go at this time too, or trying to decide, like you're realizing where the problem lies, where they're kind of pushing your buttons to have to make a higher judgment call on something here as well. So there's a lot of working energy when it comes to the mind for you guys, and I do feel like it's multi-layered, multifaceted. You're trying to see the brighter side of a situation, but be careful of who it is that's giving you thoughts, ideas. Sit with that for so long as you need to. Don't make rash decisions as well at this time. Yeah, like there you go, the King of Swords. He's clear cut in his decision making, right? He doesn't need anybody else to think on his behalf. And Aries, I don't think that you need them to either. Some of you could even be like picking and choosing clientele depending on what it is that you do. But if you're dealing with somebody who's coming across in a very young, immature kind of sense, they may be very naive. It's almost like they can't see in front of their face kind of energy, and then they're trying to be persuasive of you somehow. So I would just be very, very mindful of that kind of energy right now. This expand coming out in the reverse for the body, the World card. I'm telling you, something, the way you were doing something is done. It is absolutely done. You're going to have to like reinvent the wheel here. Queen of Wands. So you get the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. If you continue on a path, laundry's done. Sunday is laundry day. If you continue on this path with this other person's ideas, it is going to lead to disappointment and losses in the long run. There's like no getting around it. And I do think that this could also be, for some of you, if this was a maternal kind of thing, 11:11 on the clock, by the way, their way of belief system, or the way they want you to do something, leads to upset and financial losses. Some of you could be dealing with a maternal figure in your life, whether this is a mother-in-law, a mother, a grandmother. They're requiring you or wanting you to take care of things or certain aspects of things with them. It may be creating constraints and restraints on your time, your attention. It could be if you're taking time off of work to take care of somebody else as well in the 3D. That could you could end up sustaining losses as a result of that. So I would be very careful. Again, like whoever you're dealing with, Aries, like they're trying to create some type of limitation mentally, tangibly as well. And even with your body, it's kind of like if your money is down, your emotions are down. And I've seen that with quite a few of the signs. Like those things kind of have to tend to balance out, right? Seven of Cups, like there's only one way forward, and it's going to have to be unifying for everybody that's involved in a particular situation. In regards to the message from Spirit, some of these messages are just not taking very long to get out at all. Pivot, what is this pivot, Spirit? Justice. All right, we've got the Six of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Justice card. Spirit just said the old and the familiar, with the Six of Cups, strings attached. Aries, do not put conditions or stipulations to how you move when it comes to working with Spirit or God, or again, whatever you put your faith into. It's like Spirit is reminding you of a past time where you held on to something that did not serve your higher good. Maybe it was people, maybe it was places, maybe it was things. It could be a multitude of different areas in life, right? But it's like you've got to cut the cord when it comes to this certain idea or sense of something. And it's a reflective energy. Spirit's trying to show you something. I think it's funny that I see on the 11:11. Look here. You got the Death card, the Tower, and the Nine of Swords on the bottom. You're afraid. It's almost like there's a fear attached to failing. Like I've seen more signs come out with the fear of success, right? It's like you're more afraid that because you know that something has worked in the past, that if you change it up now, and you've got people that are pushing you to go that way, right? That if you make these changes, that it's going to bring everything that you've worked towards to an end. And I think the bigger tower, it's almost like you're trying to stop a tower moment from happening. But what I don't think you understand is if you don't shift your perspective to the way that Spirit is guiding you and allowing yourself to be in a space of divine flow, ultimately with whatever this is for you, it's going to create a tower moment. This transformation, this change, and this could be, Spirit is saying, in the way that you work. This is being required of you. So I would just, if I were you, I would take the leap and just do it differently, right? So like you try it, maybe it doesn't work, worst case scenario. then you can always return back to the way you did things, right? But I feel like you're being encouraged by Spirit to make a change, because if you feel like you've got to worry about it so much, like there's just the fear in itself will be the thing that sabotages it, not the plan itself. I hope that's making sense for you guys. I know what I'm saying. But I would pay attention, Spirit keeps bringing up, I would pay attention to the advisors that you have around you in regards to this, whatever this means for you. You could be dealing with a Sag, Aries, or another Aries, a Leo, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, again, Leo, and Aquarius. Does not have to be any of those signs. Or, yeah, Taurus, Libra, or not Taurus, well, maybe, Taurus, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. There we go. Spit it out, Nicole. As I'm still dealing with a little bit of brain fog from whatever my issue has been, so bear with me here. Advice for this release. Ingenuity comes out in the reverse. I'm telling you guys, like, whatever, to me, you know, to be in a space of ingenuity is for you to really put focus on a new way. It's to create a new process. It's to have the drive to see it through. Aries, you've always got that drive to go get it, determined, right? Ready to get up and go. You're a go-getter. And maybe the way that you've done things is something that you have loved and been passionate about. But it's like, again, somebody else is watching you do whatever this is. How do I put this without sounding like a crazy person? They know that what you did in the past, whatever this was, worked out for the positive, okay? You're afraid to move into the future in a new way of doing things. There's a fear attached to that, afraid that it will fail. Whoever's around you is wanting you to do it the old way. But the weird thing about it is even though they know it worked before, there may be an awareness within them. It's like they're spying somehow, that they know it's not going to work again. It's almost like they want to see you fail. Apply that where that fits in your world, how it fits. Like, Spirit's saying you're going to know who this person is. You're going to know what this is about. And it's like they're holding you back from breaking loose of something that it's been a tried and used system that is no longer going to work moving forward. Place that where it needs to go. It's a weird message. I know what I mean by it, but I know that it's going to be very important to the details of your life specifically. More information than I can give to each of you through this video. So you're going to know who this is, how this is working, because I feel like this person always has something going on around them to begin with. Like, they're kind of got their hands on the pot all the time. They're nosy, nibby. Obviously, if they're spying, whatever this is. They could just be watching you work or watching the way you move. So just be mindful of that. What does this expand about for Aries? Another one in the reverse. Self-trust. Expansion coming out in the reverse. What did I just say? Fear. There's fear attached to this, right? What card is that? That's fear. I'm going to say this to you. If you know in your gut that it is time to make a move, even if there is fear surrounding this for you, you have got to trust yourself, because right now you are not. You're not trusting what it is that you know to be true, and somebody else is playing on that. Be very, very mindful of that energy, because that Queen of Wands, I just feel like somebody's trying to knock you down a peg somehow in your world. They're playing like mind games, mind tricks on you at this time. They may be making you question yourself and what it is you know to be your truth. You have to trust in yourself and not, for whatever reason, Aries, you're putting faith into somebody else right now that you shouldn't be. You need to be very mindful of that, okay? And what is this pivot? What's this pivot about? Confidence. Be confident in yourself, Kingdom. Like, You didn't come here, Aries. You're not the one to sit back and take a back seat to what everybody else is doing. You're a leader. You're not a follower. You're a go-getter. You're not a tree sitter. Like, it's up and at 'em. Get up and go. You make up your mind and you go after it. Whatever this is has knocked you off balance, and Spirit is trying to guide you back to that. So whatever this is that's being reflected back to you that you've held on to in the past, and this could just be a person, it's time to let go of that and rule the roost again. This is catalyst. It's requiring major changes for you. For some reason, you're holding some kind of loyalty to something or somebody, or leaning more into that instead of rather than trusting your own self. So Aries, it's time to put that faith into you. Allow this to transform. But Spirit is guiding this. This is a guided change and a guided pivot that Spirit is overseeing on your behalf. Be in the state of flow with it to let this go, because I think that ultimately once you break free, you have to revise some plans, but it's gonna work out to your higher benefit later on down the road. Okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna leave that there. If you found this video resonated, like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal readings are open starting tomorrow, 21:12 on the clock. Information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon.